Hello friends, welcome back to the course. Now in this lecture we will discuss about the coordinate system of Scratch and we will learn some basic programming so that we can work in the coordinate system. Now why we need to understand coordinate system is because when we will program for the games, we will need all our different sprites to move in different directions or in different places. At that time the knowledge of coordinate system will come very handy. So we need to go through this coordinate system to understand the basics. Now we will develop a very small application in this lecture. I will run it and I'll show what it will actually do. Now this is an apple and it is asking for the value of x. So we will enter some value of x. You can see this is the x-axis. This is the positive side, right side, and this is left side is the negative side. And this apple is at the center. Similarly, y is at the top and the bottom. Bottom is negative, top is positive, and it is at the center. So it is located right now at 0, 0. So it is asking for a value of x. Say let's enter 50 and a value of y. Let's enter say 60 and let's press enter. So it first moved towards the x-axis, then it moved towards the y-axis. So we will be making this application in our lecture. So let's begin. So what I will do is I'll directly go and I will go to new. Okay, so the very first thing we will do here is we will select a sprite, the apple, and we will put off this sprite 1. Now this apple is very big, so we will reduce its size to 50. Oh, we have to select the apple first and then we have to reduce its size to 50. Now what we have to do is we have to change the background. So we need a background of a coordinates. So we'll go here and at the very bottom you can see these are the 3 coordinate and XY grids. So we will go here XY grid. This background we have to choose. Okay, we have selected this background. Now here you can see that this x-axis has values from 0 to plus 240 and from 0 to minus 240. So total width of the x-axis is 480 from minus 240 to plus 240. Similarly, the y-axis is 180 to minus 180 or minus 180 to plus 180, which is 360 in total. The center point is 0, 0. Here x is also 0 and y is also 0. Okay, now let's start building the program. So the very first thing that we usually do is we will bring this instruction here and we will bring this instruction here for resetting. Okay, now what we will do is we will create 2 variables, x value and y value. So we have created 2 variables. You can see these 2 variables have come here. Now what we will do is we will ask the user to enter the value of x. So it is like this. We will ask okay, and the user will give an answer, and what we will do is we will save that answer in x value. The user will give the answer and we will save that answer okay. So the value of x will be set to the answer because the user has entered the value of x. Now as usual we have to do one thing more. At the start of the program we have to set our variable to 0 both variables, the x value variable and the y value variable. Okay. First what we will do is we will try to move the apple from its position of 0 0 to the value of x the user has entered. Okay, so first of all what we will do is we will move the apple to 0 0 position. So whenever we hit the space bar, apple comes to 0 0 position. Okay, now it has come to 0 0 position. Now what we will do is we will try to move the apple from 0 0 to wherever the user has entered the value of x. So what we will use is we will use glide, and from variables we will pick x value and y will remain 0 because y has not been entered. And let's see whether it runs or not. Okay, so let's run the program. So it is asking for enter value of x. Let's enter 60 and see the apple has moved to 60. Now let's pause the video here for some time and try to make the same program for y value. So you have to take the input from the user for entering the y value and then move the apple to the y position. Okay, and then resume the video. So I hope you have been able to complete the exercise. So let's build the second part of this complete exercise. Now we want to move on to the y axis. So we will ask the user for entering the y value. So we will ask for enter okay, and now what we want to do is we want to move our apple to y. So this was the program we were supposed to build. Now there is an error in this program what I have built till now, but we will solve it. So let's run it. So I enter the value of x, say for example 60. So it has moved towards 60. Now I enter the value of y, say for example 70. Okay, the problem is we have not assigned the value of y to this y value. So we have to do that. We have to go here and from sensing menu we have to put answer here and y value. Okay, now let's run it again. Now you can see there is an error. Now we have entered value 50 and 60. The apple first moved to 50 on x-axis and then it moved to 60 on the y-axis. But the problem is it did not move to 50, 60. It should have been somewhere here, but it is not here. So what has happened is when we wrote the program for y axis, this apple moved towards only y and we kept x as 0. So here x has become 0 but y value is there. So what we have to do is we have to put x value also, because we have to move it to x comma y. So first the apple will move towards x-axis, then the x will remain the same and it will move only towards y-axis. So let's reset it and start it. It has moved towards x, and if I now enter 70, it will move towards y. So it is now at 80, 70. So this is how this coordinate system works. Now what we have done is we have moved apple one by one. We can do another thing. Instead of moving one by one, we can move it together. So it will look different. Now if we run it, so it will first move to x and then move to y, and both the values of x and y will be asked immediately. Let's first reset it, and now let's run it. 60, 40. So this was the program that we wanted to build. Now if we enter negative values, like if I enter minus 80, okay, just a minute, let's first stop and reset it. So what we can do is we can put this go to 0 0 whenever we start the program. Okay, now it is asking for x, so let's say minus 90 and y minus 80. So it has moved to this area. So this is the coordinate system. Now you can see here are 4 areas. This is known as quadrant 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So in 1, x is positive and y is positive. In 2, x is positive but y is negative. In 3, x is also negative and y is also negative. And in 4, x is negative but y is positive. So we can also build lots of different games on the basis of this coordinate system only. So this lecture was just an introduction to the coordinate system. We will move on to our next level of understanding coordinate system with our next exercises. So see you in the next lecture. Thank you.